Some Easter eggs are just so ridiculous, it's difficult to even understand why they're there, and yet they give you a darn good laugh. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Gameranx, 10 dumb yet hilarious Easter eggs in video games. Starting off with number 10, it's don't look up from the Talos Principle. Let's start this off with a perfect example of the kind of thing we're talking about here. The Talos Principle is a game packed with Easter eggs. There's a absolute ton of them, and a lot of them are pretty goofy in general, but if there's one secret in this game that we would describe as hilariously dumb, it's this one. Found in World B7, this hidden thing is found by looking toward the pyramid from the entrance and finding this little obelisk. It's got a palm tree beside it, and if you look closely, you can see there's a note on the tree that says don't look up. So, duh, you're gonna look up. Now, if there's one thing video games do, it's give you situations that if you're smart, you do the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Like in a lot of platforming games, you're always moving to the right, whether it's Mario, Sonic, or whatever, and sometimes there's just something that makes it look like you should go left in this one spot. This is the Talos Principle's version of that. When you look up, it's not like a jump scare or a screamer or anything like that. Obviously, it feels like it could be, but it's actually the dumbest thing you can imagine. A coconut falls on your head and blurs your vision for a few seconds, and that's it. It's totally pointless, but it's just so blunt and silly we can't help but laugh at it. And number 9 is the infinite hole from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. In terms of effort, it's the polar opposite of the previous one, though. It doesn't mean it's not incredibly dumb, because it is. But the level of work they put into creating something so dumb and pointless is awe-inspiring. Like, you could kind of say that about the entire game. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is an upgraded remake of the original game, and this is spoilers, but most of the new content revolves around if you're carrying a bucket or not. This is a game that it swings for the fences with dumb stuff, and this secret's actually one of the best. Unlike most of the other secrets in the game, it doesn't even lead to an ending, and it's fairly easy to miss. At a certain point in the game, you get the opportunity to try out the infinity hole, a hole that's not quite as infinite as the narrator implies. Every time you fall in the hole, it gets smaller until it's barely lower than the ground you're started on, and if you wait around inside this shallow hole long enough, something starts to happen. The hole starts lowering. You can change your perspective, move the camera. You can change your reality to change the background images. Like sometimes it's stock footage of puppies. You can change yourself into different models made specifically for this one moment in the entire game. Models that appear literally nowhere else. It's all just a dream in the end because they had to end the sequence somehow.
Drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
It's so bizarre to see something so high effort as a reward for doing something so dumb, like standing around in place in a hole for a little too long. But yeah, that's the kind of game Stanley Parable is, and always has been. And number 8 is the tiny car in Just Cause 4. This is another series that's just got an absolute ton of Easter eggs. And yeah, 4 isn't necessarily the best game in the series. It does have some of our favorite Easter eggs from any game at all, period, in it. Of course, there's the famous stuff that we've talked about before, like the cow gun or the Aha music video secret. But there's one I don't think that's actually come up on this channel before, the toy off-roader. Now, this Easter egg's unusual because it was actually added to the game post-launch. That's probably why a lot of people missed it. It's hidden in the main city of the game, near the stunt ramp by the stadium. Like a lot of Easter eggs in this game, finding this stuff's basically impossible without some kind of guide, so it's fairly easy to miss, just like all this stuff. It goes without saying, Rico looks ridiculous driving around in this thing, and to make the whole thing even dumber, it can accelerate like crazy, which can quickly make it almost impossible to steer. It's completely useless, and definitely just in the game to be goofy, and in that way, the tiny off-roader serves its purpose pretty well. And number 7 in Gears of War Judgment, the Buckethead Locusts. It can be easy to forget, but the Gears games actually have a lot of pretty great Easter eggs hidden in them. For this list, we're going to talk about one of the lesser known ones from Judgment. Okay, so it's actually from Aftermath, the little bonus campaign that comes packed in with Judgment, which is confusing to say the least, but it's whatever. It's a pretty simple Easter egg at least. So at a certain point in section 5 of the campaign called Straight to the Top, you can find 3 buckets hidden around the environment. You shoot all 3, get to the rooftop, then all the locust enemies appear up there wearing buckets on their heads and have little smiley faces drawn on them. That's kind of goofy, but what really takes it from mildly amusing to hilarious are the characters reacting to this Easter egg.
Oh, what the hell's going on here?
Easter eggs.
Shoot these bucket heads!
I don't know, there's just something funny about the characters reacting to dumb Easter eggs like they're a real thing. And number 6 is Teddy in Dying Light. Another one similar to number 10. Basic, very stupid, but very funny. All you have to do is find this pink teddy bear in the kindergarten on the second main map, Old Town. According to the wiki, you need to start the Rupert the Gunsmith mission to actually access this area. But once you do, you should be pretty good. All you have to do is poke the bear's nose. Nothing really seems to happen. But if you keep doing it, the bear's expression gets more and more evil, and the eyes get more red until it just finally explodes.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Stop it. You asked for it.
Why? What's the point? It's just the game trolling you. It really doesn't matter. You do get a special grenade out of the deal, the stasis field projector, which is pretty fun to mess around with, actually. It has nothing to do with explosive pink teddy bears, obviously, but yeah, it's better than nothing. And number 5, Tannis riding the fish in Borderlands 3, an Easter egg that takes Dumb to the next level. For whatever reason, there's a running gag in the Borderlands games about Tannis, the eccentric scientist character, riding a fish. It's in Borderlands 3, and it is exactly as stupid as it sounds. To trigger it, you have to go from west to the Rogue's Hollow fast travel station until you get to a shore with a bunch of different explosive barrels around. Mouthful, but it's there. The trick is, you have to shoot 5 of the elemental barrels in a specific order, which is fire, then corrosive, then electric, then radiation, and lastly the cryo barrel. You do it right, Tannis will appear on a boat, and a just hilariously bad animation will play out, where she's attacked by fish, capsize, and the whole thing ends with her riding on a fish. It's real. It really happens in the game for whatever reason. At this point, they're making it as crappy as possible on purpose, too. Like, there's much more elaborate Easter eggs in the game. But if you want one that's just straight up dumb and, like, is gonna make you laugh because it's that dumb and that badly made, intentionally so, they don't get a lot more dumb than this. This is the dumb, the essence of dumb. And number 4, Dying Light 2's Spacecock. Like the first game, Dying Light 2 is also loaded with Easter eggs. In a continuation of the joke introduced in the first one, there's an entire quest dedicated to a space chicken. It's pretty well hidden, of course, but it is very, very goofy. And best of all, it's a full-blown quest, so your main guy actually talks to a space chicken. Just starting the quest is tricky. It's hidden deep inside the Renegade base, and it only becomes available to explore after you've beaten the game. Like, it's basically a maze, but if you explore around enough, you can find a door that was previously locked. Inside is a long hallway that leads to the chicken, who you will find in a birdcage and tells you a long, nonsensical story. And yes, the quest is really called Spacecock. Yes, that's pretty much how I get to say that word here, too. That's what does it. So he sends you out to get the spaceship parts, which brings you to this hilariously crappy-looking spaceship. You get a part, you have to give it back to him. Then he asks you if you want to go to space with him before leaving in a flash of electricity. The whole thing is so dumb, but also very elaborate. Probably the funniest part is hearing your main guy's incredulous reaction to the whole thing, too. And you can't blame him.
Burnick, I'm still here. Maybe another time.
And number 3, the Talking Hippo from Hitman 3. The recent Hitman games have had some pretty wild secrets, let's just say. But probably the strangest one is this talking hippo that appears in the mission Apex Predator, the Berlin one. Getting him to appear actually isn't that difficult, but it's pretty damn random. First, you need a gold idol that's in the safe in an office on level 2. To get that, you input the code 1989. You take the idol, you find this unused section of the map with a lawn chair sitting in front of a little pond. You throw the idol onto the chair, and for whatever reason, reason that makes this hippo appear. So you just sit in the chair and the hippo starts talking. It's inexplicable, it's totally bizarre, and it's hilarious as well. What is this thing even talking about? Like, let's be really clear. I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Anyone. When the wine is poured, the blood will flow. Don't dance the dance of death. Don't trust anyone.
And number 2 is the Secret Football Glory match from Serious Sam 4. The makers of Serious Sam, Crow Team, also worked on the Talos Principle, and like that game, this one's got a ton of weird secrets. But one of the most memorably goofy ones is this, for some reason called the Secret Football Glory match. It triggers on the mission 1 for the road, and when you get to the city where Kenny is, that's when you can get behind this concrete wall and find yourself inside a football stadium. That's when the message triggers and a bunch of Serious Sam clones spawn, who face off against a bunch of guys called Metal Mates, and they play football. Yeah, for some reason, watching all these AIs try to roll a ball around, it's goofy as hell. It is not impressive. Like, it's a bunch of glitch puppets shuffling around looking foolish. So dumb. So dumb, but like some of the best Serious Sam Easter eggs. Makes you laugh anyway. And finally, at number 1, the music video in Red Faction. Before really making a name for themselves with the Saints Row games, Volition wasn't exactly making goofy games, but a lot of humor that would be front and center in Saints Row still found it into their older games. Like this Easter egg, for example, which, as far as I'm aware, can only be found by digging through the PC version's files. You go to data and then movies, and you find the expected cutscenes like the intro, the THQ logo, the end, and a trailer from one of their other games called Summoner. But there's also something called Techno Chunk. And with a name like that, it's got to be dumb, and yes, it is. It is extremely dumb. It's a music video created with the stock animations of enemy grunts. Very cheap looking, very awkward. Like, it's so dumb, and it's just hidden in their files. It's almost a wonder why it exists. I don't know. But it is very funny in a YouTube poop kind of way. It reminds me of those goofy older videos that got really popular after Source Filmmaker first came out. It's dumb as hell, but it's amazing. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Gameranx.